So up next, there's 2 kidnapping stories.
Jeez.
Wow.
I'm telling you guys, kidnapping babies is really common apparently.
That's terrifying.
Up first, the time my mom kidnapped our newborn is the title. To preface this, the incident happened exactly 1 year ago today. We are in no contact with my parents and will be for the foreseeable future unless my mom gets therapy. My doting wife and I are in therapy, but not so much because of the issues we have in our marriage, but because we both have shitty families and neither of us, until meeting our therapist, had strong spines. We are very low contact with wife's mother. She's more BEC than anything, but she also has some drug issues she's dealing with, namely an addiction to painkillers.
What is BEC?
There's a lot of terms on Just No Mother-in-Law, and here's where my Reddit expertise goes down. Let's Google it. Someone literally posted on Just No Mother-in-Law, and they go, "What do all the acronyms mean?" Question, exclamation, question, exclamation, just like down a line. Because I love like a lot of the subreddits when they abbreviate things like MIL, like mother-in-law, obviously abbreviate it. Great. But Just No Mother-in-Law is like notorious for like creating these new fucking...
It's like the little text things.
It's so annoying. So someone literally, the top comment on this post, "I've stopped coming here often because of all the damn acronyms. I hate acronyms. Mother-in-law is fine. I don't follow the stories that have a lot of acronyms."
So funny.
It
Well,
also
also-
probably takes more effort to think through what acronym it would be rather than just type it.
So apparently BEC is like throughout this entire thread. And apparently it stands for bitch eating crackers.
I was going to guess that.
Basically, a BEC moment or action is when the person you're talking about has gotten so fed up that every little thing they do is annoying, deservedly or not.
Okay.
So they're just like, they're on your nerve.
Got it.
Essentially. Okay, let's go back a year and a few days. Wife is due any second with our first child. My mom, up to this point, has been a bitch eating crackers, mostly little annoying things. However, she has also been patronizing of wife in the 6 years we were together, 2 years married. I've always shut that shit down, but I'll admit I should have gone low contact or no contact before this. So the plan was to have both sets of parents to the hospital after the baby arrived, and wife and I had time to bond. Her parents accepted that. My dad, who is an enabler, was okay with that, but my mom was not. She demanded she be at the hospital. We told her no. She had to wait. Finally, she said okay, after she saw we wouldn't put our feet down. So the baby was born. It's a boy. We hadn't found out, so it was a big surprise. Anyway, both sets of parents come. Everything's good. Finally, wife is tired, so I walk my parents out. Hers had gone home. My dad went out to get the car. I waited by the front door with mom. She turns to me and says that my dad and her are filing for custody of our baby. She claims my wife is on drugs, like her mom. A lie, wife doesn't even drink. And that she saw how wife was around the baby and she fears for his safety. I'm stunned. My dad pulls up and she gets in and leaves. I go back upstairs and my wife sees my face. I really don't want to tell her, but I'm not going to lie to her. She's upset as I am, so I text my mom that she's not to contact us. I then block her number. My younger sister's blowing my phone up, and I know it's my mom. I get along great with my little sister, as does wife, but she was a minor at the time and lived with my folks. We go home the next day. Wife had tearing and therefore needs meds. She refuses pain meds because of family history, but she says she will take Advil. So I go get some things at CVS. Wife and baby are sleeping, him in his cot, in line getting us dinner, when wife calls hysterical. She woke up and no baby.
Oh my God.
I run home and we are both a mess at this time. Then my neighbor comes over and she says, "What's going on?" She sees me running like my feet are on fire. So I tell her. She tells me, "Wait, so your parents weren't supposed to take the baby?" Yep. My mom came and kidnapped my baby.
Wow.
I call the sheriff's office. My best friend is a deputy there. As soon as I tell him and his partner what happened, they head to get our baby. Turns out my dad wasn't involved in the actual kidnapping, although I'm sure he knew about it. My mom knew at the time where we kept a spare key and let herself in. Both her and her FM were arrested because there wasn't a chance in hell we weren't pressing charges. The baby was returned to us, and according to my friend, they had a nursery waiting.
Holy fucking shit. How did what's wrong with the dad?
He's an enabler.
But what a psychopath. I don't care if you're an enabler. Like, that's scary to me because this other woman, she probably has some like severe mental health issues. This dad seems like he's just like going along with the ride.
It's like just as bad as doing it.
Yeah, it is. I think enabling in some cases is just as bad as actually doing it.
Well, yeah, I think it's literally, if not even worse, because like, well, I'm pretending that the dad is a little bit more level and the mom is just like having some serious issues. So like, if that's the case, then like, how can you in your right fucking mind watch somebody kidnap someone else's baby?
And have a nursery ready.
A nursery.
Oh my God.
That's where the dad obviously knew the plan.
Right. It was.
She's rearranging a guest bedroom or whatever, an office for a fucking new baby.
But how is that ever going to work?
Oh, well, actually, she could have said, like, oh, I just want to make sure the baby has a comfortable place to, like,
When
stay.
you watch the baby.
Yeah, and then he
Right.
might have been like, oh, my wife's being crazy. But because she said was that right after she gave birth to the baby?
Yeah.
That is so crazy. I can't even imagine, like, being, like, after having birth, like, having some psychopath, like, say this shit to me.
Right, but you have to be nuts to think that that's actually going to work. You're not going to end up with the kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Again,
What's the point?
Unhinged. She's unhinged. And that's the thing, like her being like, oh, I saw how she was with the baby. I'm scared for his safety. She just pushed that thing out.
Yeah, what? How can you say that?
That little baby is probably
That's
just
gonna
like,
hold up in court? What do you mean? Like, all the doctors are around. Like, she couldn't even abuse that baby if she desperately wanted to.
No.
You know what I
No.
mean? Like,
she's like, and also, who knows how long her goddamn labor was? Like, she was potentially pushing, exhausted in labor forever. Like, she's probably so tired and just wants to bond with her child and then sleep, and then to have her mother-in-law come in and be like, yeah, well, you can go fuck yourself. I'm going to take your baby.
And you're just trying to like recover.
Recuperate.
You're just trying
Yeah.
to take a little Advil and relax.
wait, do we have the ages of everyone?
No ages in this post.
Oh my God.
His username, though, it is not today, Satan. I love that.
It is another horror film exorcism. I don't know.
Justin, these ones might fuck you up more than Lauren.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Like, I'm not afraid of all that, but I'm just like, fuck. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's wild.
Because again, on the, like, you have to, now you will not have these people in your life.
No, if my mom tried to do this to me, I would kick her ass.
I'm picturing that. It's very interesting.
I just can't imagine. I can't imagine any parent in my life doing that. I don't know.
I mean, what if someone was normal forever and then it just happened?
And they snapped. Yeah, well, like the one stepmom, they had a good relationship until they got pregnant. It's like, so he does go on to say, my mom was sentenced, but because of her standing in the community, she was only given a slap on the wrist. However, the negative attention she got after that event spurred her and my dad to move.
Good.
Thankfully, my
Leave,
sister
bitch.
Thankfully, my sister turned 18 before then, and she stayed with us a few months before going a few states away to school. For a long time, both her and my dad were radio silent. However, my mom has tried to reach out in the last few months. Thankfully, we've learned from this. We have cameras, a security system, and no spare key outside. Our neighbor, who is now a great friend, has our spare key. We are 3 months along with our second child. I'm hoping my mom doesn't find out.
Season 2, Neighbor Steals Baby.
Oh my God. I knew, like,
God. Can you imagine?
I know you
No
just,
spare key. No spare key.
I know that you just had a kid. You're trying to get, and that takes up crazy amounts of time and is very stressful in itself. But if I were this couple, I would also move.
That's what I was thinking
wouldn't stay
too.
in the
I was
house.
surprised they stayed. I wouldn't. I don't know.
I would just be out.
Yeah. So this guy, neighbor has the key. He did move, actually, now that you mentioned that.
I don't really trust the neighbors.
And he moved to a gated community that has a security guard and has been made aware of the mom. So no worry there.
She's going to jump the bushes.
Yeah. What's interesting, though, is the story I was between on this one. The title is Mother-in-Law Basically Kidnapped My Baby. And it's very, very, very similar. We had our daughter about 4 weeks ago. She's been over at least 3 days every week since we've had her. She's always telling me what I'm doing wrong and how she'd do things differently. Baby is up every 2 hours, and she insists she'd sleep through the night if she could stay at grandma's.
Oh, yeah.
So what she did is they put the baby down to sleep. The two of them went to bed, and they woke up, 4 hours later, and they were like, the baby hasn't woken up yet. What is going on? The baby hasn't woken up. Did she die from SIDS? Because that's I feel like that's, at least it would be my fear, but I feel like as a new mom, first time mom, that's a big part of like your fears is like SIDS. And so they go and check on the baby, and it's gone.
See, and
Turns out the mother-in-law stole the key, came in and took the baby.
Yeah, and these are the people you're trying to rely on to help you in these times of very much need.
Yeah.
Where you just need an extra hour of sleep or you need a little help here. Can you watch the baby just help us out a little bit? And then this shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what makes me mad about stuff like this? Is that, and this could go for a lot of different situations, but this person was a mother once.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, don't you put yourself in the shoes of when you were a brand new mother, if your mother-in-law or if your mother did this,
Yeah.
because you were a mother, because you know how that feels, how do you think this is okay?
I think they disassociate from their time as a mother, and it's almost like there could be, there's so many reasons it could be.
I think they're better than, I feel like.
I feel like they feel entitled to this child. I think maybe there's some mental health things where I want a do-over. I want this to be my baby. I see this as my baby. This is just me and I'm right. You're doing it wrong.
It's kind of like Justin said, like how maybe you have all these crazy thoughts, but how do you think you're going to get away with that?
Right. It's never going to happen.
Unhinged. There's more kidnapping stories I found. I'll post the links on the YouTube description if you guys want to read them anyways. But I think we're good on the kidnappy kid vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us some more diversity.
Yeah. It sounds like all of these people got it figured out. Luckily. The update on the one where the mom stole the key and took the kid while they were sleeping, they got it all sorted. I'll post that update